Year 1 Algebra Test. In the first example, we have a collection of like terms. Like terms have the same letters, such as 3x and 5x. They have the same letter x, and here we have the letters xy and yx. The order is not important because of the commutative law. Therefore, we can see this as 7xy. So now we have negative 3x and negative 5x giving us a total of negative 8x. There is no change of sign because there are no brackets. 2xy minus 7xy giving us negative 5xy. In the second example, we have brackets, so this leads to a change of sign. So we have 2x squared minus times minus, which is plus 5y, and plus times minus is minus 3x squared and minus 10y. Like terms also have the same power, so x squared and x squared, they are like terms. So 2x squared minus 3x squared will give us negative x squared. The bigger term is negative, so the result is negative. 5y minus 10y is negative 5y. In number 2, we have the use of brackets, so we have to apply the distributive law. In the distributive law, we are multiplying the term that is in front of the brackets. So we have 5ab minus 3 times 2. Remember that when we cross a bracket, it means times. Minus 3 times 2, which is negative 6. A times b is ab. Negative 3 times negative 1. Normally we don't show a 1 here, but there is a negative 1. So we have negative 3 times negative 1 to give you plus 3. A times a is a squared. 5ab minus 6ab will be negative ab plus 3a squared. In the second example, we have a longer expression with 3 levels of brackets. We need to open the innermost brackets first. So we rewrite everything. Until we reach the round brackets. Opening up, we have a minus 1 times x minus x. Minus 1 times 1 is minus 1. Next, we need to simplify what is in the square brackets before we open up the next level of brackets. We have 3x minus x, which is 2x minus 1. Now we can open up the square brackets. Minus 2 times 2 is minus 4x. Minus times minus, which is plus 2. 2 times 1, 2. Once again, we simplify the brackets before we open up. 5 plus 2 is 7. Now we open up the brackets. We have x minus 3 times 7 is negative 21. Minus times minus is plus. 3 times 4 is 12. X. Like terms, 7x plus 12x is 19x minus 21. In number 3, we have to factorize the following expressions completely. Factorizing means bring out the common factors, and our answer must be in the bracketed form. In the first example, when we have more negative sign than positive sign, we need to bring out the negative sign. Next, we take a look at the numbers. Look at the lowest number, which is 3, and you see that 6 also contain a factor of 3, and 9 also contain a factor of 3. So 3 is a common factor. Next, we have a squared. So a squared is made up of the factors a times a. So a is a common factor. Bring out a. And b is also a common factor. ab squared, the square is only for b. So b is a common factor because we can see it's present in all the terms. There are 3 terms here, so we should have 3 terms in the brackets. We have taken out the factor 3 from 9, so we left with the factor 3, because 3 times 3 is 9. We have taken out a factor of a, so we left with another factor of a, and b is taken out. When we take out the negative sign, what is left is the positive sign. Similarly, when we take out negative 3 from here, we have a positive. The factor 3 is taken out from 6, leaving 2. And now b is b times b, so one b is taken out, so the other b is left. For the last term, if we have taken out the negative sign from the positive sign, the remaining sign is negative, because negative times negative gives you a positive. And since the whole term is taken out, there is a factor of 1 left behind, because minus 3ab times minus 1 will be plus 3ab. In the second example, if we have an expression like this, the first thing to do is to open up all the brackets. So we have 3xy minus 3 times 3 is minus 9x, minus 6y times x is minus 6xy, and minus times minus is plus. 6y times 1 is 6y. And the common term, we have 3xy and minus 6xy to give us negative 3xy. Since there are no more like terms, we have negative 9x plus 6y. Once again, we have more negative than positive, so we take out the negative sign, and the common factor here is 3. There are no common factors of xy and no common factor of x and y, so we put them in the brackets. We have taken out negative 3, so leaving behind xy. We have taken out the negative, so this is positive. And we have taken out 3, so left 3, x. And we have taken out the negative sign, so leaving behind negative, and 2y. In the next example, we have two algebraic fractions, and these are similar to the numerical forms 5 over 3 minus 1 over 3. So in this case, we just subtract the numerators and put it over the common denominator. So the common denominator is 3. We subtract the numerators. Since we have brackets, we must be careful with the change of sign. 5x minus 1 times x minus 1 times 3 5x minus x minus 3. In the second example, we don't have a common denominator, so we need to multiply the first by 4 over 4 and the second fraction by 3 over 3. We keep the brackets on, so we have 4 times 2, which is 8. And here we have 3 times 2x minus 1. So since we have a common denominator, we put them under a single denominator, which is 12. As we know from the first example, this sum is similar to a sum where we have one fraction minus another fraction. So we create a common denominator. Open up the brackets. We have 8 times x and 8 times minus 3 minus 3 times 2 minus 6 minus times minus plus 3 times 1, 3. Like terms, 8x minus 6x is 2x, and minus 24 plus 3. So we create a zero pair by taking out a negative 3 here, leaving behind negative 21. So negative 3 plus 3 will give you the zero pair. In the last few sums, we are looking at equations. In the first set of equations, there are brackets, so the first thing we do is to open up the brackets. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times minus 1 is minus 3. Next, we remove the 3. We add 3 to leave 6x. Add 3 here to give us a minus 2. Subtract 4x, leaving negative 2. Subtract 4x, we have 2x. Divide by 2x, divide by 2. And divide by 2 here to give you a negative 1. Right, now we will take a look at solving fractional equations. In the first example, we have two separate fractions, and for this type of example, we can get rid of the denominators by multiplying by the LCM. LCM is 6, so we multiply by 6. we take every term multiplied by 6. In this way, we can cancel the denominators. Now we have 3 times 5x to give 15x. Minus 2 bracket 2x minus 1. We keep the brackets on to remind us to change sign. Now we have 15x minus 2 times 2 minus 4x. Minus times minus is plus. 2 times 1. 15x minus 4x will give us 11x. And now we get rid of 2, subtract 2. Subtract 2 here to give negative 1. Divide by 11. Divide by 11. Finally, we have a single fraction on each side. This is similar to a set of equivalent fractions. So in this fraction, when we multiply diagonally, we find that the product of one diagonal will be equal to the product of the other diagonal. 12 equals to 12. So we can apply this method, multiply diagonally, and put a product on one side, and the other product put on the other side. Open up. 9x minus 6 equals to 4 times 2 is 8 plus 4 times 1. Get rid of 6 plus 6 plus 6. Subtract 8x to leave behind 10. Subtract 8x to give you x. This is the end of the paper. Thank you.